This story is about Facebook. Raise your hand. Now I know some of y'all's on Facebook. That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. No, I'm just playing with y'all. A lot of people on Facebook. I don't know. Facebook gives me a headache. Every time I go on Facebook, I'm always reading some shit about somebody either that I once knew at some point in my life or that I'm related to. And it's about some shit that I'm like, why didn't they keep this to themselves? Why, why have they made a decision to share this information with us all? I just think Facebook is a very messy place. But Facebook is even messier than that, you guys, because, Will, if you could please pop up that article for me. um, I didn't see this on the news, and maybe, hey, maybe it's not a big deal. If TikTok is a big deal, if the story surrounding whether or not TikTok is going to be banned in the United States because of some supposed national security claims, user privacy claims, and why the fuck is this not as big a story as the TikTok? Now, I know it's been a story at some point, but there's been some new developments. So, what is going on with Facebook? If you have a Facebook account, you might want to pay attention because you might be able to get a little bit of Skrilla. I'm guessing it's probably going to be like $3.50, but who knows? Who knows? Let me get into the meat of this. The story coming out of KRON4. A massive $725 million settlement involving Facebook's parent company Meta was tentatively approved by a judge last month, paving the way for users of the social media platform to apply for a chunk of the payout. It might be some gas money. I don't know. Meta has agreed to the payment to settle a lawsuit claiming that Facebook allowed users' personal data to be shared with third parties. The most famous example being that of Cambridge Analytica, which is a consulting firm that supported Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. The firm harvested the data of as many as, wait for it, 87 million Facebook users, according to the Associated Press, says the Associated Press. Scroll, scroll, scroll. What else do we have here? So, final approval of this settlement isn't expected until September, but Facebook users don't need to wait to fill out that claim. See the interesting. Oh, let me get through this and then I'll bring up my questions. So you don't need to know if your data was accessed actually by a third party app to get a piece of this settlement. Anyone who was a Facebook user between May 24th, 2007 and December 22nd, 2022 can apply and is eligible per the settlement page. So that means that a lot of people are eligible, and Facebook reports about 2 billion users globally, including about 200 million users in the United States and Canada. However, this settlement is only applicable to users in the United States. So, there are two ways if you want to submit a claim. You can do it online or you can do it by mail. I will let me drop the link in for the thing. Now, wait, no, no, no. Now listen, y'all. Um, I suspect that should you submit such a claim, there's probably some fuckery involved, some strings involved. You may not be able to sue or be part of any class action settlements against Facebook in the future. Though I don't know that for a fact, but I know that when you accept money as part of a class action settlement, you're usually giving up some of your rights, right? And I don't know if this is enough money for you to give up your rights, but then again, I don't know if you plan on suing Facebook anytime soon for anything. The article continues. So it says, as with many other class action lawsuits, the size of each individual payout depends on how many claims are received. And it all depends on how long that you were an actual Facebook user. So the longer that you've had a Facebook account will determine the size of your payment. Facebook does ask you, however, whether or not your account was deleted. They're going to factor that into the amount of the individual payouts. And of course, the final settlement hearing for this particular ruling and judgment against Facebook. The final settlement hearing is set for September 7th of this year. So any approved payments definitely would not be paid out before then. However, they do have a deadline if you were interested in approving, and I do believe I read that is August. Do I have that correct? So it's interesting that Facebook has made this settlement acknowledging well, maybe not acknowledging. Maybe they paid the money so they don't actually have to acknowledge shit. But I assure you, if you're gonna play and pay close to $1 billion in a lawsuit, nigga, you did something the fuck wrong. Okay. Nobody pays $1 billion is in the right. Or $725 million and said, nah, we didn't really do nothing. Really? No, 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 no. The sheer size of that money indicates that wrongdoing was probably definitely committed in this situation. But yet, while we do hear some Congress people and occasionally, I guess, the president go on and on about user data's privacy, I mean, users' data and privacy when it comes to social media apps, TikTok is the one that's been in the crosshairs, I would imagine, for something exactly like this. The only difference between Facebook and TikTok, which, by the way, I'm not 100% sure that TikTok is guilty of what government officials accuse it of, and that is sharing Americans' user data with the Chinese government. I mean, they probably are, but I don't know that for a fact. And the Biden administration also does not know that for a fact. But what's the difference between sharing the data with the Chinese government and Cambridge Analytica, right? I'm sorry, am I supposed to think that my data is safer or is not being repackaged and resold to parties like Cambridge Analytica and also sold by parties like Cambridge Analytica? What happened to all the data that went to Cambridge Analytica there, Facebook? Huh? What's that? Oh, it's gone. Oh, y'all sold it. Oh, oh. Got it, got it. Any congressional hearings about that? Any new decisions coming out of the Commerce Department to change the rules to expand the powers of the executive to perhaps institute a little bit more regulatory muscle onto Facebook? No. Oh, it's just TikTok. Oh, okay, got it. Because TikTok's in that ass. Is that right? In Facebook ass, and Google ass, and YouTube ass. Who else ass? Twitter ass. TikTok is in that ass. Now, granted, TikTok, it's a little bit too sensory stimulating for me personally because there's no surreptitious way to scroll TikTok. Like, you open the app and the shit starts yelling. And you scroll up and there's more yells, and you scroll up and someone's singing, and you scroll up and it's a excerpt from what's the little kids love? Who did Lil Yachty? I don't fucking know what the kids listen to. So anyway, I don't do the TikTok, but I can respect TikTok's gangster out here because apparently TikTok has got the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and whoever is the HCIC over there at Google slash YouTube, got them extremely frightened. And I just want consistency. What I would love is for the same level of energy to be applied that we are seeing coming from the government, that we see coming from the media, that we are seeing basically coming from the culture war that has been waged against TikTok, basically because not only of its market dominance, but obviously its Chinese ownership of the, you know, America's weird that way, y'all. There are Chinese food stores everywhere across this country, but the US would love for you to think that everything coming from China is bad. Nigga, do you know how much Chinese shit we got over here? Do you know how much Chinese shit we got over here? A whole lot. And Facebook having to pay this out is pretty interesting and pretty telling. So hold on, let me drop this link in the chat for the folks in case you want to get your $5 from Facebook, because I would imagine a lot of people are probably going to apply for this. I don't even be on Facebook, but because I do have a very old account, I might submit a little something to see if I can get my little $7.80. You never know. That $7.80 might come in handy. But I just want you guys just to peep the the hypocrisy, the the way that Mark Zuckerberg and them get to simply pay a fine and don't have to actually do any real accountability for the ways that they guard, or rather do not guard, its users' data and privacy. And I'm not exactly clear whether or not even paying the settlement says that they can't do it again. This was a civil settlement. This wasn't a criminal action. Facebook is not found criminally liable of anything. They just decided to write the check. So there's nothing to prevent Facebook from doing the exact same thing again. The only thing guess they would fear is would a bunch of users come together for another class action lawsuit. But we know how these capitalists get down. They will do wrong by people in a variety of ways, but in this case, selling users' data to a third party. It's just about them not getting caught, right? Like, I'm sure. How much do you think Cambridge Analytica paid for that information? I don't know if it was 725 million, but I bet you in conjunction with the other third party sites that Facebook sold that information to, it was probably a pretty penny. It was probably a pretty penny, because the data is what is the most precious commodity out here nowadays, guys. And I know we've heard this a long time ago, but any of these social media apps, any of these social media sites, if it is free to sign up, which all of them are, then the product here being commodified is you. Is you, your data, your engagement, your posts, things to attract eyeballs. If it's not for free, then the product is the then the product is the $725 million Facebook settlement. Did I drop the app the fucking link? Oh yeah, check. So anyway, read the fine print if you do decide to do it. I just glanced over the online submission form to maybe get a couple dollars, but again, I don't really know what Facebook has to offer me in the form of compensation, and I doubt that 725 million. How much is seven? Oh, I dropped my phone. 725. Like I could do the shit in my head. I'm trying to divide 200 million by 725 million dollars. That's not working. Hold on. I dropped my phone. Okay. Sorry. My phone dropped. All right. Let me do some quick math here. So assuming everybody applies for the jump. Don't no answers. Don't all y'all cheated. Y'all done figured this out already. So 725 million. Oh, by the way, they said that that amount is also going to be you got to deduct attorney's fees and all that shit. That can't be right. I did 725 divided by 200. I got 3.625. So everybody going to get about $3, maybe more than that. Anyway, run Facebook money. I mean, run your money from Facebook. Let me say that. And I will decide as to whether or not I'm going to apply for this. But again, what was it, y'all? Was it the Equifax breach? Was this about 2 years ago? It was it was one of the big credit bureaus. It was either Equifax or TransUnion or one of them uh asshole juggernaut credit bureaus that either said, because they had a big data breach as well, and you could apply to get, it was like a couple $100 or $150, something like that, or free credit monitoring, and everybody took the money. And then Equifax said, psych, we ran out of money. Y'all gonna get this free credit monitoring, and no one's gonna get no more bread. So it's probably going to be a situation like that. It's not going to be worth it, but it depends on your situation. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, that Facebook has some money out here that you might be able to pick up a few dollars. And basically, isn't that funny how Facebook gets to pay a fine? But TikTok is being forced to either divest or face being banned from the United States. So just very cute that way.